need to be very mindful of is having a good color palette, a good color theme. Color is really important. It's so important, it's its own industry. I don't know if you've ever heard of Pantone. Pantone just released their color of the year, which is classic blue. If you want to go dig around their website, they release the color of the year each year, and they work in like design, as far as like making color for packaging, print, textiles like clothing, even cosmetics. So it's pretty interesting that color is its own industry, but it is. So how can we work to make a really good color theme or color palette for our web pages? Let's take a look at some color schemes, and these are in the book too. Different color themes based on the color wheel. If you've ever taken an art class, you've probably looked at these. Things like monochromatic, where everything is the same tint or tone of the same color. And when I say tint, tone, or even shade, what that means is when you take the original color, if you add white to it, that's a tint of that original color. If you add gray to that color, then that's a tone of that original color. And if you add black to that, it's a shade of that original color. You can also have things like split complementary, complementary where they're opposite on the color wheel. So these are just different things that you could use, but I mean, using these does require a lot of understanding of the color wheel, and we don't really have time to learn all that. So luckily, the internet can do that for us. There's all sorts of websites available for you to create a color theme. So one is PaletteOn, maybe is how it's pronounced, who knows, but I'll include a link to this, so you can go visit this website if you like. So you can choose different color themes here. That would be a monochromatic. You can do adjacent colors. So let's say we wanted to go with adjacent colors. We can move these around on the color wheel, and then we can also move this around on the color wheel. Okay, so you can kind of pick and find the colors that you like and that you think are going to go well together. I don't really like any of these, but once you find them, once you find the one that you want, you just click the tables export, and then it gives you the hexadecimal, or if you wanted to use RGB color, it'll even list it like this. So you can play around with that website to help you find a color theme for your website. But my favorite website is this one, coolers.co, and again, I'll include a link to this one as well. Not all of the color palettes on this website are appealing to the eye. For instance, this one with that bright pink, you would have to be very careful using that bright pink against that purple, because you see how it kind of hurts the eye a little bit. But there are lots of good colored themes on here. And another thing that you can do with this website, another thing you can do with this website is go to more, and then you can pick a palette from a photo. So say you know there's going to be a photo that you are going to use in your website, you can use that photo. And I have a lovely picture right here of my kitty that passed away a while back, but I just love this picture of her. And you can create colors or create a palette by selecting the colors from the photo. So when you're doing this, you probably want to be aware that you would want dark colors and light colors, so that you could have that contrast. But when you want to pick a color, you just zoom in and pick a color, and then you can have a theme based on an image.